All right, we are here for round number 2 here at Coach's Corner with Dean Thomas. So, one thing that we heard from Dana White recently is that the Ultimate Fighter is returning. A lot of people didn't know if that would happen with Dana White Contender Series and how big that has become. It's actually on right now, and I thank you for missing it to do this. So I appreciate that. But obviously, you were on the Ultimate Fighter season 4. So what was your journey like on the Ultimate Fighter? And what can you say about the Ultimate Fighter versus a Dana White's Contender Series? What are the differences, the main differences there?
Oh, there are a lot of differences. I mean, the Ultimate Fighter, you're kind of like a lab rat because you're stuck in a place with a bunch of people that you don't know, and they're filming it all,
Mm-hmm.
and they got cameras everywhere. But I will say this: that experience being on the Ultimate Fighter, it prepared me for everything else that came along with mixed martial arts and everything else that's come along in my career to date. From doing Dana White looking for a fight to coaching to the way I live my life. Because when you go into that house, you go in with maybe expectations or not, but you don't know what's going to happen. You don't really have a lot of control over what happens, and that's the way life is. Like, you really don't have control over it. So like doing that, it was like while it was felt like an experiment, it really was just like a metaphor for what life is like. So like
Mm-hmm.
being in that house, it taught me how to train better. It taught me more about myself. It taught me how to deal with people better. It taught me how to deal in front of a camera. So like all those different things like that was priceless. It's an invaluable experience being on the Ultimate Fighter. So anybody who gets a chance to do that show is getting a valuable experience. Even if they're getting paid,
Mm-hmm.
but even if they weren't, that's still a valuable experience. Now, the Contender Series is a lot different because they're taking guys that are right at the cusp of maybe making it to the UFC, and it's almost like an audition,
Yeah.
kind of like a tryout. And I almost think it's a bit unfair because sometimes I think guys can get put in the UFC based on that one performance, and they may not be even ready for the UFC, but because they had a good performance there, they get in. And I've seen guys that are good enough to be in the UFC didn't have a good performance, and they don't get in because they didn't have a good performance at that audition.